I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here with a Preston Thompson 000-12MA cutaway custom guitar. Preston Thompson is a luthier who's been building guitars since the 1970s, and he's now based up in Sisters, Oregon. And he's really building a full range of kind of vintage-inspired steel string guitars. He's kind of made his reputation early on, building some great dreadnoughts. Charles Sawtelle was one of his early customers, and Peter Rowan as well has been playing Preston Thompson guitars. So some great heavy-hitting players using these instruments for quite some time. And in the last few years, Thompson has really sort of built up his business to where he's offering a lot of different kinds of guitars, and they're available through a dealer network, so they're a lot more visible than they have been in the past. So the guitar I'm holding here is Preston Thompson's 000-12 fret, which is of course based on the classic vintage 000-12 fret template. But in this case, the guitar is customized with a cutaway, and some of the features and the appointments also differ from what you would find on a vintage guitar, which is a great representation of the kind of things that Thompson does, where he takes a vintage template, if you want to think of it that way, and kind of turns it into a contemporary instrument that really has its own signature on it. In the case of this guitar, of course, it has a cutaway, and 12-fret guitars with cutaways are something that you don't see a whole lot, but it really is a wonderful idea, because if you are feeling limited in the way that a cutaway might allow you to reach past the 12th fret, having the cutaway on the 12-fret guitar really gives you the access that you would have with a 14th-fret guitar, even a little bit more right here. This goes really just past the 15th fret. It really adds to the versatility of the instrument a whole lot, and there aren't a whole lot of people offering 12-fret guitars with this kind of a cutaway. This particular guitar is built with an Adirondack spruce top, really a very beautiful top, mahogany back and sides, so you can think of it as kind of an 18 style guitar. It has faux tortoise shell binding on both the top and the back. Faux tortoise shell is also used for the pickguard. You might notice that it's an OM style pickguard on this guitar, the smaller teardrop. It's used for the peghead overlay in the front of the peghead right here, as well as the heel cap. It is also used for the binding of the neck, and there's a nice little touch where you can see the white strip that's placed between the ebony fingerboard and the binding itself. That really adds a nice touch, and it's something that you wouldn't have seen on an 18 style vintage guitar, but it adds a nice bit of sophistication to a very clean design. The guitar's rosette is based on a style 28 kind of a rosette, multi-ring black and white rings here. It also has basic dot position markers, and again you can see the purfling is very clean white lines all the way around. The guitar has a beautiful pyramid bridge with ebony bridge pins. Very nice wood grain in this particular piece of wood that was used for this bridge. I already mentioned the ebony fingerboard as well. Of course, it is a slotted headstock, which most older 12-fret guitars would have had, and in this case it's matched with a set of Waverly tuners with white buttons. One thing that I particularly like about this guitar is the string spacing dimensions. We have a nut width of 1 13/16, which is a bit wider than most common guitars are, and pretty wide string spacing at the saddle, similar to vintage 000-12 frets. It's 2 3/8, so quite wide. Feels a little bit like a classical guitar that way. Gives you a lot of room for kind of doing sophisticated stuff with your right hand, and personally, I'm a big fan of these kind of dimensions for playing fingerstyle guitar. So really, this type of instrument with the wide string spacing, the 000 body, the 12th fret, is kind of as close as a steel string guitar that feels a lot like a classical guitar as you're going to get. And I find it to be a wonderful combination for playing fingerstyle guitar, but it's not limited to that. So let's also listen to Peghead Nation's Scott Nygaard playing the guitar with a flat pick. that's the Preston Thompson 000-12MA Cutaway Custom. It's really a wonderful guitar, kind of idealized for playing fingerstyle, but as you heard Scott Nygaard playing on it, really not limited to that. Takes quite well to being played with a pick, and with the cutaway access, you really gain a lot of versatility over a standard 12-fret guitar, where it might be hard to get past the 12th fret. So if you're using a capo, let's say, and you get up into these regions fairly quickly, it definitely is a nice feature to have. The craftsmanship, the materials, everything is really top-notch on this instrument, as you would expect from a small custom maker. And I'm very happy to see these guitars getting a little bit more visibility by being available in several dealers across the country. This particular one came from Schoenberg Guitars here in Tiburon, California, and we thank them for providing this instrument for us. And I highly recommend that you check them out if you're into steel string guitars that are inspired but not complete copies of great vintage guitars. So please come back and visit us here at Peghead Nation for our gear demos. My name is Teja Gerken.